Welcome to the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. This is your go-to resource for personal growth, mastering communication, and influencing and persuasion techniques that will help you unleash the full potential of yourself and others. Here is your host, Alex Morgan.
Welcome back. This is episode 7 of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. My name is Alex Morgan, and I'm a master trainer of NLP and hypnosis. And today in this episode, we're going to be discussing perfection versus excellence. So there's a fine line between going for your absolute best and really striving to be the best version of you, and then falling into perfectionism. So in this episode, we can explore the difference between perfection and excellence and how this can really create our reality and how we perceive and see things from us and how we see things in other people if we're going for excellence or perfectionism. So we can go ahead and start off. We can define perfection and excellence. So these aren't necessarily official definitions or anything like that. It's not like I went searching in the dictionary to find these. However, to me, perfection, it's going after something that's flawless. There's no mistakes. You size up all the details before doing it. And even when you do it, you're wanting to change things. All this is doing in my mind is now you're creating a habit where you're going to always use perfectionism. So an example of this, recently I did a little masterclass on how to create reels. And the instructor, Ryan Matis, the advice I got, the good learning that I took from the whole thing, of course, all the technical things on how to make the video, the subtitles, the music, all that, fantastic. However, what he said really changed my thinking. He said, if you're making a reel, do it one and done, or it's not any fun. So what does that mean? Take one take of your video, your minute video, your 30-second video, whatever it is. Take one take, and it's done, or it's not any fun. Because if you watch that take, and then you're like, I don't like how I said this, or I don't like how I looked there, or I need to say this part again. Then you make it twice. Then you review it again. Then you're going to make it a third time, a fourth time. And it's going to take many, many times. However, this creates a habit of you trying to make the perfect video. However, how many times have you ever watched a video online and thought, I don't like how they said this. I don't like how they sound there. I don't like the look on their face here. I mean, I don't really do that. So why would other people? So one and done, or it's not any fun. So I think if you're trying to take many, many takes, you're going for perfection. And that's not really any fun, to be honest. I don't want to make a bunch of videos. I'd rather have an idea, open up my phone, press record, talk into the phone, and be done in about a minute or two. And that's it. So one and done, or it's not any fun. I thought that was a really good learning from this Reels Masterclass. So that kind of covers what perfection is and also how I kind of look at perfection. So think about what perfection is for you. So now we can go into excellence. So in NLP, in our NLP trainings, we teach excellence. We want you to have excellent behaviors. We want you to go for excellence in everything that you do. That's a huge part of what we teach. So what is excellence? To me, excellence is doing the best you can to become the best version of you every single day. That's a big difference from perfection. Because on the road, on the journey to excellence, guess what? You're going to mess up. Things are going to happen. You're not going to fail. You're going to get feedback because there's actually no failure. There's only feedback. You learn or you grow. So you can really achieve anything you want on the way to excellence as long as you have this attitude of excellence, that you're doing the absolute best that you can right now. And every day you're going to get better and better. You'll become excellent and more excellent. And do this in everything you do. And when you do it in everything you do, just like that habit of perfection, making all those reels, doing all those different takes, excellence is going to become a habit. And this will drastically change how you think, how you feel, how you see your reality. It'll change who you want to interact with, the conversations you have. So if you're trying to be perfect, you're going for perfection, I want you to think, if you're a perfectionist, how does this really manifest in different areas of your life, such as work, such as relationships, and even in personal development? Maybe when you're doing something at work, because you want to be perfect, it's taking you longer. Maybe in your relationships, you want to be perfect. You want everything to be done in a perfect way. So you're spending more time and more energy doing it so it's your way, because you have to be in control of how it's done. You don't want to delegate that. So that can be in work as well. You don't want to delegate tasks if it's not done how you want it to be done. And in personal development, maybe this causes you to look around all the time for the perfect course, for the perfect method. You end up spending more time, more money, more energy when you probably already have all the tools, because guess what? You already have all the resources inside of you to succeed. You don't need to keep searching and searching and searching. Of course, you want to invest in yourself. However, that can bring you excellence. So excellence can also manifest in different areas of life, such as work. Because if you're always trying to get better and you're studying your craft and you're passionate about what it is that you're doing, your results over time are going to get better and better and better. And this actually brings up a good point, because many people, when they're looking for products or services, they love to look for experience. Well, how long have you been doing this? Of course, we want someone with some experience. However, over time, the person, let's say with 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years of experience, we don't necessarily know if they've been doing things in an excellent way. What if there's new methods, new studies, new research, new ways of doing it? Can we confirm that they're doing it this way? Or maybe the person with 5 years of experience, that's still plenty of years of experience, they're doing things in an excellent way. They're using all the new information. They graduated school recently, so they're using all the new methods. Maybe this is the case. So in our work, strive for excellence. Go for excellence each day, because we're going to get the results that we want. Let's say you're going for excellence in school, or we have to take a test or a course professionally or in our personal development. So if someone said, hey, you have to pass the test. So when I became an NLP trainer, there was a test. You have to write it out by hand. It's about 68 questions or 72 questions, somewhere in there. And so you have to write it out by hand. I hadn't written out a test by hand in many years. The hardest part of the test for me was keeping my hand, with energy, so it didn't hurt. So if you ask, hey, what's the passing grade on the test? It's probably 70%, let's say. However, as I was studying, there's no point in going only for passing. Excellence, let's say, would be 100%. Doesn't mean I have to get 100% to be excellent. However, if I study how I want to study, and I did study this test, I really did. So if I study this test to the best of my ability, and I go in and take the test, and let's say it took me 3-4 hours or whatever it was, writing out this test, and I walked out of there, I thought, you know what? I think I did everything that I could to get 100% on this test. So that's excellence. That's how you can use it for taking a test and studying. And in personal development, when you're in a training or you're taking a course or you're reading or whatever it is, just be focused. Focus on what you want. If you focus on what you want, then excellence, it'll totally be in reach for you. So now that we kind of define both of these and we show how they can easily manifest in different areas of your life, let's go ahead and look at some of the pitfalls, the dangers of chasing perfectionism. So what is one of these? I think one of these is burnout. If we're doing things in such a way that we're trying to be perfect and we're never satisfied with the results, we think we can always do it in a more perfect way, chances are over time, this habit that we're building of being perfect, it's going to burn us out. We're going to get tired. It's like we're going to want to pull our hair out. We have to be perfect. Imagine you're thinking it would be exhausting. To me, that would be very stressful if I was always trying to do something in a perfect way, where I had to be in control, where I had to do all these things in such a way I would burn out. I would be exhausted. I couldn't handle it. So some other things, some other dangers, I think are things like stress, anxiety, because we're always going to be anxious. Like, did we do it right? Is it perfect? How are other people going to see it? Are they going to like my video? Are they going to like my training? Are they going to like the book that I wrote? What if they find a mistake? I mean, we're going to be so anxious about things in the future that haven't even happened yet. So create a habit of excellence instead of a habit of perfectionism. And I think another one is doubts and worries. So if we're trying to be perfect, if we're going for perfectionism, then we're probably going to be doubting ourselves along the way. For me, when I'm going for excellence, it's almost like you have a well thought out plan and you're just like, I'm doing this in an excellent way. Then I'm going to build up to this. Then I'm going to get these skills. And you just keep building. When you're going for perfectionism, you're worried about the next step because you're thinking, did I do the last step right? Then you go to the next one. So you're not really building up like you are in excellence. That's how I kind of look at it. So I think perfectionism, it can actually hold you back from reaching your full potential because you'll have to be so precise. You'll want to be so flawless in everything that you do that you're going to make mistakes. However, you're not going to have the same thinking about those mistakes because you're still worried about the finished product. Someone who's going for excellence, they're going to make mistakes, move right by them, complete the task, go on to the next one. I think they're going to do things more efficiently. They're going to get results faster. So I think perfectionism, it's going to take more time, it's going to take more energy, and it's going to probably take more money as well, because we're going to think we always have to put in more resources to do it perfect. So me, I don't want to waste more time. Time, I think, is the most precious resource that we have. I don't want to waste more time doing something in a perfect way and creating the habit that I think is incorrect in perfectionism, like I talked with those reels. I want to be able to film a reel, edit it, and upload it in about 15 minutes. If I'm doing it in a perfect way with all these takes, maybe I spent 1 hour. Why would I want to spend 4 times the amount of time to do a simple task that I can do in 15 minutes, let's say? So I think that really holds us back from reaching our potential, because I could then use that 45 minutes. I can use it to learn something. I can use it to write an email, write a blog, follow up with some clients, take a class on, how to make more sales, on marketing, whatever it is. And imagine over time, 45 minutes here, 45 minutes there, 45 minutes here, 45 minutes there. In 4 days, that's 3 hours. In a week, it's about 4.5, 5 hours. I mean, that's too much time wasted. So I think we can use all that extra time to reach our potential. I mean, over a year, let's say it's 4 hours a week. Let's say there's 52 weeks, but just to have nice round numbers, 50 weeks, that's 200 hours in a year that I could be spending time learning something new, doing something new, instead of trying to be perfect. I'd rather use those 200 hours bettering my life to become the best version of myself instead of trying to do something in a perfect way. So if we really embrace excellence, let's look at some of the benefits of embracing excellence instead of perfectionism. I think one of the ways that this really helps is we become really good at gathering feedback within ourselves and externally. Because when you go for excellence, you want to do it just like other excellent people. So you're willing to take their feedback. And you do something, and if it doesn't work exactly how they say, then internally you give yourself feedback to do it in a better way, in a more efficient way for you. People who are going for perfection, they think their way most likely is the best way. So they're not going to be getting feedback like someone who is going for excellence would. So getting feedback, this is really, really helpful. I think another benefit of embracing excellence is we're always gaining new strategies because we're naturally curious. So if something doesn't work, we efficiently adjust and we find a new strategy, a new way to do it. Where perfectionism, you're more rigid in your thinking. You're not as flexible. So with excellence, you're more flexible. You're more curious. And you really want to do things in a strategy that is going to work for you. So that's another benefit of really embracing excellence. And I think the final benefit that we can go over, I think that when you're embracing excellence, people will start to see that. So they will become curious about what you're doing. They will see you as the expert. They will see you as the authority in what you do because they think, wow, what is this person doing? How are they doing it this way? They're going to naturally be curious, and that's going to be really helpful for you because guess what? Maybe you can get new clients. You can build new relationships. You can build your network. They may introduce you to other people who they think are like you. So I think this is a huge benefit of embracing excellence over perfectionism. So how can we shift our mindset from perfectionism to excellence while maintaining high standards? Well, what I was saying earlier, I think is the most important part is we need to change our thinking just about small little things. So being excellence, it's about being the best version of you. And you have to think there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And so you need to understand with excellence, if you're showing that you're excellent, you have positive emotions also inside of you. So if your state while maintaining excellence is confident, you're motivated, you're going to carry those states into other rooms and people are going to notice that, and that's going to encourage others to be excellent too. If you're going into rooms with a perfectionist mindset, people are going to start nitpicking at what you're saying because you're going to be caught up in the details and how you do things so much. They're not going to see you as that leader, that expert. So I think this is one way that you can shift your mindset from perfection to excellence. And really just think about what it is that you want. To really shift your mindset, go ahead and write down. I know this sounds like a lot. Go ahead and write down 100 things that you want. 100 things. And also Write down 100 experiences that you want to have. If you really want to shift your mindset, you have to focus on what you want and take action towards those things. And that'll have you becoming excellent at everything you do, because you'll want to get those 100 things. You'll want to get those 100 experiences. So I think that's also a practical tip for achieving excellence without falling into the trap of perfectionism. So wake up every day and just know that you can be better than yesterday. We're not always going to be 100% the same doing our best. Maybe our best one day is a bit different than another day for whatever reason. However, the most practical tip is just to do your best every day and know that your best is more than good enough. Not good enough, more than good enough. And then if you're doing more than good enough and you're really giving it everything you have for that day, then you won't fall into the trap of perfectionism. So we need to be self-aware every time we're doing something. You need to be self-aware. What are we creating? Are we creating a habit here of excellence, of doing the best we can with all the resources we have and striving for excellence? Or are we creating the habit of perfectionism? So think of that when you're doing things. Think of how you're doing it. And in this way, what is it giving you? Is it giving you excellence or is it giving you perfectionism? If you notice you're going down the road of perfectionism, become consciously aware of that and switch. Go for excellence. So striving for excellence, I think, is really important for achieving success. And it's also important not to fall into the trap of perfectionism, because guess what? This will hold us back. So it's equally important to go for excellence and make sure that you're not falling into the trap of perfectionism. So if you can really understand the difference and create a habit, and guess what? All habits are created at the unconscious level. So your unconscious mind, once it has something, so once it has excellence, it wants to give you more of that. And it wants to follow that path of least effort. So if it can see that excellence is least effort because you're actually spending less time completing something in an excellent way than perfectionism, it's going to want to keep going that way. So please make sure when you're programming these new habits, you're going for excellence, because your mind's going to give you that in these tasks. And once your mind gives it in one thing, it likes to generalize. So it's going to want to give you excellence in everything that you do. So I hope you take away some valuable insights and practical tips in this episode so you can achieve excellence, so you can become better every day. So thanks so much for listening, and wherever you are consuming this podcast, listening to it, if you want, go ahead and leave me a 5-star review. I would really appreciate it, and thanks so much for listening.